Come on, dude. How does that just fly out of... Wow. I'm impressed. Okay, great
It's
call.
called the runs.
It's the runs, exactly.
Audio dysentery.
Back in the house to do some blues this time.
People are like, that's not blues.
It
You know
is to
what?
me.
It is to me.
Blues rock is where my happy place lives.
Yes.
So to me, blues rock is like Hendrix, Zeppelin, Stevie Ray. Obviously, I appreciate the greats and where it all came from.
Yeah, sure.
But my soul says Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, you know.
You like rock music?
Yes, rock music. Frank Marino.
Yeah. Frank Marino's a bad motherfucker.
Dude, no joke. If you guys don't know Frank Marino, I remember when I was a kid, I moved to Oklahoma and I was teaching at Edmond Music in Oklahoma City.
I've been there.
Have you really?
I'm sure Fender days I was at the clinic there.
100%. And so the guy who convinced me to be a guitar teacher at 18 years old, I came in and I was like super into Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I'm like, yeah, man, I try to get into blues, but I need it to be like angry, like Stevie Ray Vaughan or something like that.
Right.
He's like, have you ever heard of Frank Marino? And I'm like, who's Frank Marino? And he shows me this picture and I'm like, mustache has already got me.
Right.
Like, he's just, and then I turned it on and I was like, oh my God.
He did some things to an SG that
Dude.
a lot of people wouldn't do to a farm animal. Right.
So anyways, we're going to do rock, feel, and let's sneak the turnaround thing in here.
Okay,
'cause
sure.
You got some killer turnaround stuff. That'll come second. Okay, so obviously what you did was terrifying. If we're going to slowly walk into blues, feel, to get to terrifying, where do we start? And how do we kind of like manipulate the strings so it feels good?
Yes. Well, obviously, where we start the clock is going to be the thing. But let's just start with simple stuff. For me, vibrato and phrasing.
Okay.
Is key and tone.
So phrasing
and attitude.
Well, dude, you got to have attitude.
And one of the things I like to show is just the slide with a little bit of vibrato. Because I remember the first time I saw this, I'm a huge Cream era Clapton fan, which is interesting because I talked to a lot of people who are, I mean, the only reason I'm kind of I hate to say it, but I'm a boomer by default because I was the youngest of 7 kids and all my siblings were boomers. Yeah. Technically, I'm a Gen Xer.
Okay, yeah, right.
But so I grew up with, Hendrix and Cream era Clapton and all that kind of stuff. And to me, and I still, to this day, I always say people bitch about Clapton, about this and the next thing. I always say, listen. You will never be as cool or as badass as Eric Clapton was in the spring of 1968.
No,
he just was. I mean, the first one to get that sound with the Mark. I just saw this podcast or just a snippet of Mark Maron talking about ripping on Clapton. Listen, I thought, you jackass, you don't know what this guy. I mean, and I'm not whatever his other views on other things are a separate issue.
Sure.
But from a musical point of view, people dissing on Clapton, you can diss on the latter stuff or so on and so forth. But if you look at the body of work and look at what he did to push the instrument along, shut the fuck up. Am I right or am I right?
No, he's amazing, man. I mean, and the Cream era, like...
In and of itself. If he had died after Cream.
Totally. But then to be able to ride all those different decades.
I mean, there would be no Zeppelin.
No.
There would be no Sabbath.
Yeah.
There would be no Allman Brothers band. Now, would they have happened in some way? But they would not have been what they were without Kareem, Eric, Jack and Ginger, Marshall amplification.
Dude, with an SG.
With an SG.
Yeah, completely badass.
Sorry, was that a rant? Was that
No, it's all true. It's all true.
But anyways, getting back to that, there was a video of him. There was a movie that came out about, the last gig of Cream in 1968, right?
Oh, seriously?
So when MTV first came out, I was like in 8th grade, and they used to actually show like music videos and stuff on there.
Fancy that.
Right. And then on Sunday night, they would have like the featured concert movie, of which I had my VHS.
Oh, yeah.
Primed and ready to just
double and play and record.
VCR.
VCR. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so the Goodbye Cream was on, so I taped that thing in there, and in that movie are those little segments of him just sitting and showing and he did this thing where he just just that little so I always say that slide up a whole step and then the vibrato You can do vibrato a million different ways, but this particular version is it's kind of the BB King thing, where I, for some reason, I always imagine a animated frog going, "Hello, my baby." Hello, my dog. Because it's wrist. It's a wrist thing. So the only contact points with the neck are the tip of my finger, which is kind of slanted, and then maybe the first finger's hitting it a little bit. But everything else is just getting the wrist going back and forth like this. Now that, there again, I'm going down, and the string's going down first as opposed to up.
Okay.
Now there's a difference between going up, which I will do like if I'm in this position. There I'll go up because it's got a little different, as opposed to.
Yeah.
It's a subtle thing.
No, it's true though.
Or this one. That's the hard one, isn't it? So again,
so you're going down on that.
Yeah, I'm going. But for that, you got to be careful because if you exert too much force, that sucker's going over the edge. Right?
Yes, totally off the cliff.
So for this, again, the contact points are that first finger just being draped there, the tip of my finger, and the wrist going like this.
Okay.
Now, if I'm doing more of an Albert County thing, even though he was going down most likely, if you go up, I'll get a little bit wider vibrato.
Yeah. He's another one I forget about that had just killer vibrato.
Otis Rush had great vibrato, but he had like a wider thing. Yeah. But just that. Well, BB King had the killer.
Okay, so the subtleties of that, you're bending up the third, like all those little nuances.
Well, like this, like, I'm not going. It's like, and before I'm not even letting it go all the way down. It's still pre-bent to give it that little sour thing.
Oh, you know dude. Wait, so you're pulling off before you even get all the way down?
Exactly.
Dude.
Right?
Wow. Okay, cool.
No, I might do something like that. Kind of a BB Kingism as well that I'd mutate a little bit. You know, and then the little things like all the, the Albert Kingisms are like. We can do in that area, you can do more of the Stevie Ray version.
Okay, slow that one down.
Okay. So
what shape are you in?
So here I'm in that kind of BB minor pentatonic and this right in A. So Albert King would be doing it here.
Was that a double bend? Wait, what just happened?
Yeah, I'm going up like a whole step. Actually, I'm going up. Two of them.
Okay. So it's 2, half, step and a half, and down, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now it also helps to do the fingers as opposed to the pick there. So I'm doing upstroke. But another thing that Albert King do, because he would be upside down.
Oh, right.
It's kind of a good thing to do upstrokes and then just choke up on the pick to kind of get these kind of almost like pinchy harmonic.
Backwards though.
Exactly, because he would have been.
No, but I mean, you're getting kind of pinchy harmonics going this way.
Correct.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before.
Now you say it's meteor sounding. It doesn't quite have the bite, but you can hear the full sweep of the bend. Whereas here you're compensating because Albert King would be tuned down, so he would just bend.
Yeah,
like, I can do it, but it's painful. Shit, you're gonna pop a string, right?
Totally.
So you got to do it in that second position of the minor pentatonic, like Stevie Ray would do it, and that gets the piercing.
Yeah.
As opposed to.
Yeah.
But that's got a thing.
Yeah, it does.
So I kind of go between the two. I mean, it's good to kind of.
ask you this. I've seen you do like 57 different styles since you've been here. How much time do you put into putting on a record and learning how people play?
Well, the interesting thing is that I'm going for specific things of how they play. I'm not learning solos all the way through.
Okay, so you take the bits and pieces.
I take the bits and pieces that I think are the most indicative of what I like about their playing and what I want to rip and put in my own stew of wrongdoing. But I think for me, what probably saved me from spending too much time in the dustbin of history would be to try to, because I would encounter people over the years that might take a lesson or something going, man, I can't get that third beat of the solo in Crossroads. I'm like, who gives a shit? He only played it the one way, one time.
And it's edited.
And it's edited, right? So just, take the cool stuff and do your own stuff with it. So playing solos verbatim has never really been my thing. I mean, there's some that I can do, but I'll always phrase them in my own way.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing was whenever I would hyper focus on someone, I would zero in on my interpretation of their style, which is great because your interpretation of the style and somebody else's interpretation, they might gravitate to totally different bits. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So that's kind of how I.
Yeah.
Plus, it was a lot of we were talking about earlier. It's like I'm not to diminish anything, but I was probably on the even though it wasn't diagnosed back in the day, you were just a problem. Now it'd be like, well, he's on the spectrum, and so But I had this OCD where I'm just.
Yeah.
It's like, who I'm into now? Now it's Oasis. I've been listening to Oasis nonstop for 2 months.
Hilarious.
And so it'll just be like all of a sudden I'll be turned on to some rando. Okay. How could I not know about this person? Like Jeff Lee Johnson. I got hip to him. I'm like, who's this guy?
Who's that?
He's a bad motherfucker.
Really?
Jeff Lee Johnson.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who is
he was a guy from Philly that played kind of a Hendrixian fusion, but really cool tunes that kind of had this gospel-y jazz thing. Crazy improviser.
Like what era?
I think he's been dead for like 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but he played with, he did some stuff with Prince.
Oh, okay. He did not let slouches into the band.
Correct. And play with some, I forgot who turned me on to him initially. Oh, it was some guy on Twitter or something like that. Someone said, hey, I turned so-and-so on to Jeff Lee Johnson. You should check him out. And I did. I was like, heard. The guy's unbelievable. So do the deep dive on that dude.
Okay.
And, but just the attitude and the tunes.
So are you more osmosis learning and kind of you listen to something, you don't necessarily have to
well, I'll listen and then I'll hear the things that I want to do. And a lot of times, I never didn't take any licks or anything from Jeff Lee Johnson because, I was older by that point. So, but I'll hear chords. I'm more of a chord. Vibe freak in that regard. And he would do some stuff with a whacked out flanger. I was like, man, that's a cool little ism.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's stuff like that. So to your point, so over the years I would, hyper focus on different folks.
Yeah.
Whether it be, when I first heard Live at the Fillmore, the Allman Brothers, I lived with that record nonstop for, I don't know.
Dude, I still have never heard that record.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Well, I'll tell you how it came to the Allman Brothers.
Okay. I've heard it's ridiculous.
Well, it's fantastic. So, I always knew who the Allman Brothers were, for sure. But when you grew up in the 70s, it's like it would be kind of like they were on People Magazine, him and Cher. You're like, well, how cool can that be? You know what I mean?
Totally.
And my sister had, she had the Brothers and Sisters record, and she had Live at the Fillmore.
Yep.
But I was more into my brother's record collection. Okay. So, and my brother, he liked Whipping Post and stuff, but I don't really remember it being heard at the time. Sure. But when I was freshman or sophomore in high school, so this is like 81.
Dude, damn, check you out.
Right? Come. At Milwaukee Summerfest, the Allman Brothers band played with the Nighthawks opening up. Jimmy Thackeray, bad man as well.
Okay.
So, and I was thoroughly blues rock goon at that point. I'm all in, listening to, everything from, of course, my standbys of Hendrix and Clapton, but I'm really into B.B. King Live at the Regal and Albert King and all this kind of stuff. And I see the Allman Brothers live, and I'm just Oswalded. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And because it was blues, but it had all these other elements, and plus they
Melodic, too.
just were like cool. I'll never forget Dickie Betts taking a hit off a cigarette and blowing it out. There was the hugest cloud of smoke I'd ever seen. I thought, this guy's in Hannibal. And as a fan of that kind of activity at the time, I was like, I got to check out these records.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went home and I found Live at the Fillmore, and I was like, oh my God. And initially I was disappointed because I thought One Way Out was on there. One Way Out is actually on Eat a Peach, which I would get a few months later, and that blew my mind. But Live at the Fillmore is like the greatest condensed way of learning blues rock guitar in terms of, back then I would think of 3 different formats of my style of playing. Well, there's the minery stuff I would do, like kind of Carlos Santana meets Allman Brothers, because a lot of, Memory of Elizabeth Reed and Whipping Post are all like A minor Dorian, just A Dorian ramps,
For sure.
And then there was more the major pentatonic-y thing where you're like, it sounds happy. For some reason I can't hit that one flat 7 note. So there's my happy way of playing, and then there's the bluesy, filthy way.
Sure, yeah.
So that record kind of encapsulated like a crash course in all of those.
It's pretty much textbook, like as good as you get when you want to learn, especially that major style. That and like a Badge or some of those kind of, or Shook Me All Night Long. There's those like quintessential, like if you want to learn how to play major pentatonic.
Right.
But with a little teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and then once I got our Brothers and Sisters, then that's got Jessica on it. And
so I need to do an Allman Brothers deep dive.
Absolutely. It's worth the excursion.
Okay.
Well, and what I love so much about Duane Allman's play, like when you first listen to Live at the Fillmore, you may be the same way. You're like, because Duane Allman's conventional playing, sometimes it can be a little pitchy. I know people are like, oh my God, what is he saying?
Yeah.
Well, anyone who's got ears knows it's fucking pitchy.
Right.
But it's so grimy and awesome.
Yes.
That at first I was like, I like Dickie Betts' tones a little more clean, and his playing is more crisp and so on and so forth. But Duane's slide playing, of course, was greasy and delicious. But then after a while, I really got into the Duaneisms. Like he would do stuff like if I'm in major pentatonic, he'd do like there's always those little fall offs, like.
Oh, yeah.
Just those little things,
Yeah.
And he would always go like. But the best Duane Allman on all time, which is on.
Wait, so good. Back those up. Hold on. Keep that in mind. Go break some of that down, because that's awesome.
So you're just kind of taking your time. Here you go. That's another good one, sir. Major third.
Okay. It almost sounds like a slide.
Yeah. But it would always like. You could always, it's just greasy, grimy gopher guts.
I need to get into some of that.
But one of his best things, which I do all the time, and I give him credit for it, doggone it, but he would do this thing.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So when you have the amp cranked and it's given, it's like
Okay, so this makes a lot of sense. My buddy Rob McNally does that. Yeah. And his dad was he actually said that Duane was at his house when he was a kid, because I guess his dad was a musician or whatever. It's like, I used to be at my house sometimes. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah. Duane.
But he does that, and I'm like, where would you think to just freaking crank down that low string?
Which is funny, because when their road manager, Twiggs Linden, got out of prison because he killed somebody who wouldn't pay him.
Come on.
He came out and he listened to the record after he got out of prison, and he said, that's the best note Duane Allman ever played. Yeah. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
Power.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was amazing. Okay. So give me some other
a little isms. I like to do this. I like these little fall offs.
Yeah.
Like Hendrix would do it.
Yeah.
So but I always like to kind of. So I swear to God, when I was a kid, I'd do that lick like constant, because I just love the sound of that. Yeah. Those are Hendrix.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait, this is something that needs to be covered. Give me like a Hendrixy progression. Where you see this stuff. Okay, what do you want me to play? So you can play over the top.
Oh yeah, well let's how about just.
That's it.
Well, that's the reason why I like Roy Buchanan so much is because he would do Hendrixisms on a telly.
Oh, just so terrifying.
And when I would hear that stuff, I'd be like, oh.
That is another one. If you don't know who that is, Roy Buchanan, he is possessed.
Yeah.
Like he is on a different plane altogether.
Oh, well, yeah, he had some demons. They
did.
Manifested in Glorious Musical Congress.
Exactly. Okay, so Hendrixisms.
Yes.
Give me some. See your guitar.
I took that Easter. Took it for a little trip. Well, the classic Hendrix band, of course. But first of all, just that going up a whole, and then adding the vibrato. He would do a thing like I'm in C sharp here, but. I'm not even picking the D string. And,
it's just all hammer-ons.
Those are.
Oh, nah.
Then, of course, choking up a.
Okay, wait, slow down. This is good stuff. You gotta.
Yeah. All those little Jimmyisms. Now, what I'll do to kind of mutate it, I'll take that Hendrix band and go chromatically down like.
You're like the living embodiment of Jack Butler. He's just cutting heads, just cut people just right off at the knee.
I don't know about that. I was like, if I made a deal, I came out of it on the wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't give my money back. Totally.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, just those little fallouts. Or there's a little those minor pentatonic. You can do that. You can also do
the part you did just up here, the slide you did. Yeah, that was cool. Okay, slow that one down.
No. Jimmy would throw that one in. Yeah. Now that's so. I always
sounds like Bandage Yippies.
I was like, "What scale is he doing?" He's really not thinking of it. It's not really. It's just kind of going across. No.
The thing I love about his playing is it's that super greasy blues. Like he could have just stopped at Red House.
Exactly.
Like, you're done. That's it. That's it. Learn every lick and then you're done.
Yeah. Crimson Domicile, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
And we do a version. I mean, my favorite version of his is from Hendrix in the West.
Okay.
So I always kind of do like a little variation. I do it in A now because I can't sing in loud higher than that anymore. But his tone is like cleaner when he does. So just that little intro. And then when he always goes.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
He also does it.
Yeah. Shit, do that one.
Yeah, that one. So.
Bro, you got to be a producer's dream. Like, do Hendrix, do this, do that, do that.
I'm available for cocktail parties as well.
Totally. I got that. Okay, so we got Hendrix, Allman Brothers. We got, what about a Beck? You got some?
Beckery, I kind of do all my couple different things. Like I'll do like a. Over that.
Okay, so your tone, you didn't even change anything really, and your tone changed. So how did you get the tone to change?
I just went to the bridge pickup and I pressed that button in to get a little.
Oh, so you got a little
extra
ninja
sass.
switch.
Yes.
Okay.
So without it, it's like just a little bit.
Okay, a little sizzle. So what's the bending?
So that is, I'm just going, like if I'm down here, I'll do the minor third in A. And I'm going back by the bridge too to get a little bit more extra.
Well, chicken.
So that gives you a little bit. I mean, if I had a whammy bar, I would do that stuff with the
Let's let it in. It's on the same frets.
Yeah.
Dude, what position would you be in?
I'd be an A minor.
Oh, so you're bending into the position.
And he would do all just weird little intervallic things like that and do like. Another good Beck. So that's just that. That's
Sean does that lick too. Do that. What did you just do?
So what that is that's that Mahavishnu scale.
Yeah.
So it's like flat 7, root, major third, 4th, 5th, flat 7, root.
Yeah. Also known as awesome.
And put a little, just add those little.
My God, bro. That's like an angrier Mixolydian scale.
It is. It's
like
a Mixolydian where you take out the 2nd and the 6th.
Okay.
So you're just left with the angry notes.
Yes. What's that called? Show me the.
So it's like flat 7, root, 3rd, major 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then flat 7, root. The only reason why I'm starting on the flat 7 is because it just.
Yeah, because it sounds awesome.
No, that's a.
Oh my God.
And that's great for if you're doing like if you're doing anything that's kind of like Dreams by the Allman Brothers, but it's just like a sus chord back to a 7th, like. It's just got that nice little. It just works.
Okay.
Great. So anytime you want to add a little flavor of the East.
Yeah. A little wizardry.
A little wizardry of the East, the subcontinent. You can throw that stuff in there for the kids.
Goodness,
and they responded kind.
Oh,
Like,
bro.
I'm so glad you snuck in that scale.
Yeah, because it's badass. It's one of my
For
favorites.
the kids.
Yeah, for the kids. Who are like in our situation now, the kids are like 40.
Right. You know what? It's a trip. I mean, it's like I just turned 59 this year, and I remember
No
when I
way.
was in my 20s,
Yeah.
and I knew musicians that were like in their 50s.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do they even get out of bed in the morning?
It's old as dirt.
But now I'm like, I feel like I'm 30, except I don't have any of that bullshit in my brain.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like the way I play. I can actually listen to it and be like, okay.
Yeah.
And I like learning new things. You're comfortable in your own skin. You're just like, great. I got like 10, 20 years left. Hopefully more than that. One never knows.
Yeah,
But, I'm here for it.
Okay.
I'm getting my money's worth.
Okay, so walk us into, you did some just freaking awesome turnaround stuff.
Okay, turnaround thingies.
Start from square one. What's
Okay, so we do for the key of
Basically
A
turnouts.
here. Let's do a couple different ones. Okay, I'm gonna put the poop button off. Turn the volume down. Okay, so if we just take like the sixth in A, all well and good. You know, you can do something just as simple as that. No, they're E notes happening, but it's kind of cool sounding.
okay?
Or I might want to harmonize it by going.
Ooh.
So I'm going from an A7 to a diminished to a. It's like a B minor 7 flat 5 over A. It's back to A7.
Nice. Okay.
Or I can take it from here and go A7, F sharp diminished, B minor over A, back to A. So how that would work in context would be like.
Nice.
Or when you go to that fun, just got a nice little augmented little snivel. Right. Now you can do another thing that's kind of cool. You can go this A7 to a B7 over here.
Oh yeah.
Or I can do more of a throatier. So I go like, I just love doing this anyways. Go from like a C diminished and then sliding up to A7. You can use that as a turnaround as well. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
Or I can go.
That's a good closer.
Yeah.
Okay, do that one slow. That was cool. What strings are you hitting? Because you're
So I'm ignoring the A string altogether. So it's E string, D string, and G string. So the second fret there, third fret on the E string, and then so there I've got E string at the second fret, G string at the second fret, D string at the first, and then E string at the first fret, open D, G string still at the second fret, and then so like suspended E.
dude.
Or, or you can do the opposite. There's another one.
Yeah.
That's another good ender.
Ooh, what chord is that?
So that's like a B flat over A. And then you can do, I've showed this one before.
So like notes are going up and down at the same time. Okay, wait, slow that one down.
So I got the A string's going. Well, the B string's going. And then I added this. So that. Right? fuck I go.
I'm like kind of stunned. Sorry. I'm like,
That's all right.
where am I? Dude. Okay. So let me see if I can throw something at you. So you like rock music?
I do like rock music.
Van Halen fan?
No, that's one area that
Okay.
I was like, so many, especially my age.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone was doing. I was like, I'm gonna go over here. So I
Okay,
never even learned Eruption.
Where did you go?
I was in my own stew at that particular point.
Okay.
So if you would have heard me play when I was 17, you would have heard the vibrato and the phrasing and the chicken picking and all that kind of stuff was already there.
Okay.
It's just that I just took it further. So there was this. So back when I had the first 3 Van Halen records. This is kind of a funny story, and this is everyone's got their own thing. I'm not judging. It's just my own thing. So first Van Halen record I got, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It scared me.
Yeah.
I've told you. So
it's terrifying.
It was terrifying.
Like
Especially
the actual first one?
Yeah. Because I grew up Catholic, so running with the devil, like, I think these guys are actually in league with Satan. and me by proxy by listening to them.
Exactly.
Cool. Right?
Yeah, right.
And then I remember the second record came out. And to give you an example of what I was listening to at the time, I was such a Hendrix fanatic. I had a cassette tape, and on one side was Hendrix at Monterey, and on the other side was Van Halen 2.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, there you go.
And so I was like, I went back and forth, I dug it.
Yeah.
Then I got the third record,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, do I like this? I'm like, yeah. And then MTV came out, and I saw them. Yeah. And I was like, I can't. It's like David Lee Roth was so off-putting to me. It's like, to me, like we were talking when we were having records, like Jimmy Page is a Dark Lord. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm used to guys being terrifying and cool and weird. And these guys, it's like, it was a little too whatever for me. Yeah, for sure. So whatever. Everyone else, again, it depends on where you start the clock. If you start the clock there, I totally get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then everyone was doing the tapping thing, and I thought, I just don't want to do it. And the reason why maybe I'm just rationalizing, but it's like all of the different bending and vibrato and so on and so forth that you can do to notes on the guitar is what attracted me to it. When you're tapping, that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's about note choice and cool shit that you can do. And of course, now it's just morphed into this unbelievably crazy, and it sounds cool. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm not saying that it isn't a tremendous thing, just that for me, it just wasn't tripping my trigger.
Was there a hard rock band that you did, or were you just you're past that?
Well, you know what was funny was that I went through a phase where I actually eschewed the Zeppelin. At first I was really into it, and then I was hanging out with older guys who were kind of blues goons who were telling, until I saw Song Remains the Same at a late night theater, at midnight, and I was like, I'm sorry, blues goons, but this shit rocks. Totally. Right? And then another pivotal thing was when Deep Purple reunited. I was a senior in high school, and I'll never forget my buddy.
I'm so late to that party too. My buddy's been trying for freaking like 30 years that I've known him. He's like, dude, do Deep Purple. And one day we were driving to Florida, like this was like 2 years ago. And I'm like, fine, whatever. I'm going to do a Deep Purple bender. And I put on like 4 albums and went all the way to Florida. And I was like, bro, why didn't you ever tell me Deep Purple was
right? I mean, when I was a kid, my siblings had Machine Head and Night Dog. I used to listen to it all the time. But I didn't have like the live record.
Yeah, dude.
At that point. So all of a sudden they put out Perfect Strangers, and I was like, I like those tunes. I like that tune, Perfect Strangers itself. Reminded me of Zeppelin. It was awesome. And so I was like, I dig the Perps. And then they were playing at Alpine Valley, touring to support that record, Perfect Strangers. And my buddy, it's like, I got an extra ticket to see Deep Purple. You want to go? I'm like, yeah, fine. I'll go. But I'm like, half into it. Yeah. Remember I got there and we're sitting there waiting for things to start. And I'm kind of bored. I'm like, okay, I'll sit through this. All of a sudden the lights go down. And all of a sudden you hear that, and you're like, what the hell's going on? It was like ear-splittingly loud. I'm like looking around, I was like, is this normal? And then there's like this laser into the back of the stage, and it's going like this, and it's getting bigger. And the whole time, and it's getting louder and louder and louder, and it breaks into highway style. And by this time, I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. And then at the end of like Strange Kind of Woman, where Ian Gill is doing the and screaming like that, I'm like, so by the end of the night, my shirt is off. I'm drenched with so I was all in.
They're pretty badass. Like in his blues phrasing and just everything in that
Right.
freaking Marshall Major, for real, that tone, Jesus.
I'm telling you, the first Deep Purple records, and then
Probably wasn't even going through the PA.
right. Probably not.
Yeah.
But so I was, but during my high school years, it's like
Yeah.
the Randy Rhoads thing.
Yeah.
Never was into
Okay.
it because I just felt it was what everyone else was into, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to be over here.
Yeah.
I mean, and since then, of course, I've grown to appreciate all that stuff
Yeah.
and did cool stuff. And Eddie Van Halen, I'm like, he came up with so much cool shit, and he
freaking
loved
genius.
playing so much that he was just always coming up with cool shit. And I realized that by osmosis, I do all of these things that's totally Van Halen.
Yeah. It's hard to escape it.
Yeah,
Totally.
and all credit where credit was due. It's just that at that particular formative part of I was like, my mission is over here.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and everyone said, "Hey, do some Van Halen." I was like, "I don't even know."
Yeah, I
I mean, I think during COVID they sent me a Wildwood when I was doing videos. Sent me one of those Frankenstein guitar, and I learned something.
Oh, yeah. Those things are badass.
Yeah,
Dude.
and it sounded
The
glorious.
neck is
And I put on a
so
little
good.
phaser
Yeah.
with it, and I did something, and I was like, "Yeah, that sounded, not
Yeah.
bad." But yeah, I've never done the deep dive where it's like, like Dweezil zapping.
Yeah.
He'll do a rupture.
Oh,
It sounds exactly like it.
Exactly. Okay, so the one thing, this is the tried and true, can you really Van Halen, is I've been around, I would say at this point, some of the best guitar players that have ever walked the earth. And I'll swear to goodness, maybe 5 can play I'm the One.
Okay.
How it's supposed to be played.
Right.
So if you're doubting Van Halen ever,
Yeah, I don't doubt at all.
no, I know you don't. But put into context, what, like 21 maybe?
Right.
Try to just play the intro and get the swing. The
Right.
swing is what
Right.
kills me about Van Halen.
Right.
Like his rhythm playing. I almost like his rhythm playing more than his lead. I mean, I like the lead playing too, but his rhythm chops are just freaking terrifying.
Right. And let's be honest, he wouldn't have been, I mean, a lot of his things are Clapton
Oh,
cream.
well, he admitted
Yep,
that
exactly.
freely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. So I was going to pigeonhole you down into Rockland, but you just, I get it now. It's like, this is.
Yeah,
yes.
Jimmy Page and Richie Blackmore is about as metal as I'll get.
And you could have stopped there.
Yeah, there.
Okay. All right. So until next time. So comment section below. I said this is another video. There'll probably be another video out at this point as well to check it out. It was like kind of a funk video, which was completely badass.
That was fun.
So we'll put that in the description box below. GregHawk.com. He also has a Patreon. I highly recommend checking that out. You've got some footage with your trio that is completely terrifying.
Yeah, don't be afraid of coming out and see the band. We're traveling all over the damn place.
You got a good channel too, right?
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, we mostly performance oriented, but we
Yeah.
may pivot to some instructo stuff here and there. My shorts are,
Dude, please.
it shall be done. It shall be done.
You're one of those guys that like, it's like you and Bukafak and all these guys. I'm like, you can't leave the planet not having gifted the next generation proper inspiration.
Oh, well.
You have to.
It has to
It's not even a choice. It's your moral
duty to the youngins. Take and feast.
Exactly. All right. So thank you so much for the continued support. We'll catch you next time.